All right, so I wanted to talk about something. I just thought about it. Okay, so, all right, I might be crazy for this, but let's talk about it. Okay, so we all know that Julio Jones went to the Tennessee Titans, right? And it's big, you know. We heard the heartwarming story about he didn't want to take number 11 from AJ Brown. He's going to rock number 2, this, that, and the third with the new league rule changes. And we're all talking about how the move makes Tennessee a Super Bowl contender. And while that is very true, the situation is still kind of disappointing because the one thing that nobody's going to talk about with the Tennessee Titans, well, actually they do, but they're talking about it in a very positive way, which, you know what, I might be kind of a negative Nancy for saying, you know, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. But the thing is, if you're a Julio fan, you know, this is going to be a feel-good movement. You know, he's going to return to the playoffs with barring some unforeseen tragedy. He's going to return to the playoffs with the Tennessee Titans. They're probably going to make a deep playoff run, this, that, and the third. And heck, he might get the ring that he deserves, and that's gonna make people feel very good. The problem is, the thing is, we're not gonna, when it comes to Tennessee, you know, Julio is not gonna be able to be Julio. And you're thinking, what the heck? Julio is one of the best receivers in the NFL. How the hell is how is him changing teams gonna limit him from being Julio? Well, you gotta think about it, okay? Let's think about this, okay? So AJ Brown is what, a 1,000-yard receiver? I don't know his stats. I might pop it up, I might not, but AJ Brown's a great receiver, okay? So he's gonna get a good amount of targets, you know, so is Julio Jones. But the thing is, the Tennessee Titans have something that the league has not seen in a very long time. Actually, it's happened the first time since I've actually started watching football. When did I start watching football? I started watching football 2 years after Keenan Allen got drafted. So I don't know which draft that was. I think it was 2013. So it'd be about 2015. Yeah, that makes sense because I started watching it as I started getting more serious into football. So yeah, the thing is, the Tennessee Titans have this thing where this odd conundrum. Did I use that word right? I'll pop up a definition. This odd situation where they have this thing called a 2,000-yard rusher. And in order to be a 2,000-yard rusher, one, you have to have a good line. Two, you have to have one hell of a running back that can take one hell of a beating. But, you know, Derrick Henry is a bell cow, and he is probably the most, when it comes to pure running back, he is the best running back we have in the NFL. Now, I know you can make arguments, Dalvin Cook, Nick Chubb, this, that, and the third. Yes, you can make those arguments, but the thing is, Dalvin Cook, you know, he was injured last year, and when he does play, he is one of the best running backs in the NFL. And I'm saying that, and I haven't even seen the guy play. I could just go off for like what people say, the stats, this, that, and the third. Well, the problem is with Dalvin Cook is he doesn't have a very good offensive line. He's doing that all by himself. Nick Chubb, he splits carries with another pretty damn good running back. I can't recall his name at the moment, but he splits carries with another good running back. But this isn't a debate about who's the best running back. The best running back is the dude with the best blocking and gets the most carries without getting injured. And right now, that is Derrick motherfucking Henry. He suns people, all right? So the reason why I'm saying this is a very sad move, this should, if you want to see Julio get a ring or get very close to getting a ring, you know, so he's not like Larry Fitzgerald, a talented receiver who's done all these accolades, but never, you know, he lost the only Super Bowl he's went to, is probably not going to get in a Super Bowl, get a ring before his career is over. Besides, you know, Julio getting a ring, which would be phenomenal, it is kind of sad because now Julio will not be Julio. And you're like, we're 4 minutes in, you haven't talked about why the hell Julio cannot be Julio. Well, the thing is, when we think Julio, we think the 70-yard touchdowns, we think the 300-yard games, we think about him mossing Luke Kuechly to end the perfect season for the Carolina Panthers. We think of him mossing the crap out of that defender in the back of the end zone where they both grab the ball and he literally just snatches it out of his hands. We think about him taking slants or curls and breaking tackles and running these crazy routes to post corners, just being an absolute beast, just taking over games. And he's not going to have to do that in Tennessee. They're not going to ask him to do that. He might do it once or twice during the season, but he's not going to have to because he has help. Now, not to say he didn't have help in Atlanta, but he was the main focal point. Here, he's not going to be the main focal point. It's going to be Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is going to be he's going to be the main man. He's going to be I don't know any references for this because I don't watch many other sports, nor do I play chess or anything, but he's kind of the main guy. He's the frigate. He's the battleship. He's the lead man. Julio Jones is going to be more like the aircraft carrier. Although the aircraft carrier can cause more damage, the battleship, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be there. He's the trump card. He's going to pop up every now and again, and he's going to make a good play. He's going to set up a game winner. He might even catch a few game winners, this, that, and the third, but we're not going to see Julio Jones absolutely dominate the game like he is. Now, of course, he's Julio Jones. He might dominate a game or two, but this was week in, week out, all but 1 or 2 games of the season. Julio was just absolutely a goddamn monster, just an absolute beast unless he was injured. And even if he's injured, if he's able to play, he is an absolute dominant force. And the reason why this is kind of sad for Julio fans is that that's going to be scaled down with the fact that AJ Brown is there and he's going to get, some attention. And people are going to say, like, there's going to be games, and there probably will be games where you can't double AJ Brown and double Julio. So when Julio's doubled, AJ Brown's going to go crazy. When AJ Brown's doubled, Julio's gonna go crazy, and when they're both doubled, Derrick Henry is gonna go crazy, type of thing. Well, yeah, but the thing is, they're probably is when they're picking the poison, it's just like, somebody else is gonna eat. But we want to see Julio eat. We want to see Julio go crazy. We want to see Julio break records. We want Julio to show how dominant he is, because we haven't seen it in a while. And there's recency bias. I know you can pull up the statistics and say he's had great seasons every year he's been in the league, but the thing is, he was hurt last year, and the Falcons did shit piss nothing but blow leads, just like my Los Angeles Chargers. So with the recency bias, you're just like, yeah, Julio's good, but what has he done? And we want to see Julio put up a fucking 1,500-yard performance. We want to see him score 10, 11 touchdowns, but that's not going to happen because Derrick Henry is going to have 1,500 rushing yards. He's going to have 1,800 rushing yards, and AJ Brown is going to have 800 to 1,000, receiving yards. And it's just like, there's only so many passes you can throw a game. There's only so many plays in the game, and not all of them are going to go to Julio, which is good because, he's 30-something years old. He shouldn't be carrying a team single-handedly. But the thing is, we still want to see him dominate. We still want to see the highlights of him, and it's going to be greatly diminished now that, Matt Ryan isn't force-feeding him the ball because they're down 14 points every fucking game. So that's unfortunate. That's why I feel like it is kind of sad to see Julio go to the Tennessee Titans, because they were not an air raid team, and yeah, it would have been nice to see him go to a team where they absolutely aired it the fluff out. It would have been nice to see him go to, I don't know, well, Green Bay is probably not going to have Aaron Rodgers, but let's say Aaron Rodgers go there. Green Bay, go there with that guy. And who's another really good fluffing quarterback that throws it deep, Russell Wilson already has receivers. Well, I guess there was no other. He could have came to the Chargers. We would have loved to have him. Imagine him with Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, and then Julio Jones. We'd be throwing it all over the freaking yard. But yeah, this was the best spot for him to go to, get a ring and to win and not have to carry the fluff out of the team. But it also sucks because now we won't see Julio put up 300-yard performances. We won't see him, going crazy with the touchdowns, which Julio never caught many touchdowns. Like, he had some seasons where, yeah, Julio was never a touchdown guy. He was always a yards guy. He was always assist. So, yeah, that's just unfortunate. Let me know if you agree, you guys have probably watched Julio Jones way longer than I've been alive or even known of the guy, but I just feel like, yeah, it's just kind of sad for Falcons fans, Well, it's sad because he's not on the team, but Julio fans, because, like, you want to see him show that he's the #1 receiver in the league, but when you're giving Derrick Henry 20 to 30 carries a fucking game, it's going to be hard for him to put up, top 10 receiver numbers. I don't know. But yeah, I figured I'd talk about this or talk about more football things since, it's the only thing that gets attention around here at my channel size. So we're just going to do this until, the channel grows and I can go, I can post fun stuff without getting 2.5 views. So yeah, heck yeah. Hopefully you guys are, comment down below how you feel. No outro. I'll just fade this to black because, like, none of y'all at me on Instagram. Anyways, I'll bring the outro back somewhere then. Hopefully this flowed pretty well. I don't know. I'm trying this new thing out where I don't write scripts, where I just take whatever the fuck I'm thinking and I just spew it into the mic, and hopefully people will understand it and not attack me for being a little bit incorrect here and there, but it is what it is. I defend myself in the comments. All right, I'm out.